Something happened in the last couple of months that links role-playing video games and role-playing politics with big business. The Mafat min Rasi is to look at where contemporary Arab art is a concept creator. The concepts highlight the challenges and propose solutions for the social, political, and economic climate. In late September 2025, and less than 2 weeks apart, 2 mega deals were made. Both have a security component. One deal concerns controlling the region, and the other deal will control the gaming world. One is the biggest buyout in the world, and one is the biggest sellout. What is a buyout and what is a sellout just depends on what your politics or ethics are. Both deals share one broker, Jared Kushner. Remember Jared Kushner, the key architect of the Abraham Accords, brazenly dubbed as the deal of the century?
That push from the White House to agree a deal, it has been Jared Kushner and Steve Witkoff who have been leading the push there. Of course, Jared Kushner, the president's son-in-law, was the Middle East envoy during President Trump's first term in office. He was the one that pushed for the Abraham Accords, very, very heavily involved as well in the relocation of the US Embassy to Jerusalem.
Here is a recap. This was from the 2019 presentation in Bahrain that Jared gave on the future of Palestine. His concept is that Palestine is an idea. He thinks it's a clean slate project because somehow he can. He actually looked like a game show host. Jared Kushner's 2019 Vision for Peace presentation on constructing essential infrastructure reminds me that Jared from Mar-a-Lago could not have the political imagination, and certainly not the wit, to make a concept paper on Palestine. If only Jared had looked at contemporary Arab art, he'd get some brilliant ideas. Ideas can be artworks. It's called conceptual art. For conceptual art, the concept or the idea of the work is more important than the completed work. There is nothing beautiful or profound about a postcard of 2 donkeys painted as zebras, but the idea or concept behind this postcard with 2 donkeys painted as zebras is the art. Khaled Hourani is the artist who made the postcard. He wanted to emphasize life under Israeli occupation by a true story of the Gaza Zoo that transformed 2 donkeys into zebras. Postcards usually carry images of landmarks or beautiful stuff, but 2 donkeys? Mohamed Abusal's artwork Metro conceives an elaborate underground metro system because, quite frankly, if you already have the tunnels dug up, why not use it for public transport?
طبعا هذا العمل هو في البداية كان على أساس كنوع من الاحتجاج على الحصار والاحتجاج على الفوضى المواصلات اللي صارت بغزة. مشروع مترو بغزة اشتغلته لما كان في حصار على قطاع غزة في سنة 2007 لما الاحتلال الإسرائيلي أغلق الحدود. اكتشفنا أنه أهل غزة خاصة أهل رفح بلش يحفر أنفاق تحت الأرض ما بين رفح الفلسطينية ورفح المصرية باتجاه سيناء ليجيبوا هذه البضائع. اتطورت الأنفاق وزاد عددها، وصل عددها حسب الإعلام ل10,000 نفق في شبكة معقدة جدا. فكان هذا الموضوع كتير ملهم لإلي لسبب إنه تخيلت إيش حجم هذه الشبكة اللي تحت الأرض وشو هالخبرة اللي عند أهل غزة، خاصة بعد ما صار في فوضى بغزة لما دخلت كتير موتوسيكلات وتوك توك وطفطف والبنزين المصري اللي دخل ففوضى المواصلات خلتني أفكر ليش ما يكون عندنا بديل تحت الأرض ويكون عندنا شبكة مواصلات تانية، حياة تانية تحت الأرض زي ما بكون بأي بلد زي أوروبا على سبيل المثال. فهذه كانت نقطة استلهام لإلي.
While Abusal conceives what's possible below the ground, Larissa Sansour proposes something above ground. Larissa conceives colossal high-tech skyscrapers as vertical solutions to Palestinian statehood. Nation-state prevents the problem of Israeli checkpoints because each floor in the high-tech skyscraper would be a Palestinian city. Jared's a businessman, and the success of a business plan is measured in KPIs. Forensic architecture, our collaborative team that includes artists as part of its work doing forensic investigations. If we use forensic architecture's project done in 2025 to measure the performance, the KPI, of Jared's 10-year plan for Palestine, then this is what it is. Clearly, Jared's deal of the century in 2019 delivered a total genocide by 2023. So, Jared, on to the next deal. The next deal was born as the conceptual idea dubbed the Gaza Riviera, which morphed from a real estate development of Gaza into a bizarre declaration called the Trump Declaration of Enduring Peace and Prosperity. Khalil Jahshan called the declaration a wedding party without a bride or a groom. Jared's other deal in September 2025 is the $55 billion buyout of a gaming company, a games publisher, called Electronic Arts. Gaming platforms are collecting so much personal data. The issue of concern here is the sellout of personal data and who has access to it. The flip side of this is that gaming platforms can threaten national security. Who are the buyers of electronics arts at $55 billion? It's Saudi Arabia. In Saudi Arabia, 63% of the population are under the age of 35. This is also the target age group of video gamers and includes Gen Z. Global data shows that 70% of Gen Zers are involved in some sort of activism, either political or social. Their activism is driven by frustrations of genocides, climate disasters, the economy, and government. Gen Z has the political imagination to organize through the use of video game platforms. In late September 2025, Moroccan Gen Z gamers organized anti-government protests on Discord.
So the use of Discord is an interesting one. It actually markets itself as a gaming app. It's a form of social media that's largely unfamiliar to older generations and politicians. So in this case, it really benefited the Gen Z movement. The way the protests were organised were through servers, which are part of Discord's decentralised platform. They're effectively virtual communities. Anyone can join Discord, and it allows complete anonymity, making it difficult for authorities to track protest organisers and dismantle these movements. One example is a server called Gen Z 212, and it's named after Morocco's dialing code. It has more than 200,000 subscribers and is responsible for organising the protests we've seen in North Africa. Organisers say they too joined Nepal's servers and were motivated to create their own in protest against their government's economic decisions.
Pointing to billions of dollars in investment they say the government has put in to preparations for the 2030 World Cup.
In Jared's document, Vision for Peace, in the index of definitions is a definition for the state of Palestine. So Jared's concept of Palestine needed to be defined. It reads, the state of Palestine refers to a future state not currently in existence that could be recognized by the United States only if criteria described in this vision are satisfactorily met. These are the maps from the document Vision for Peace. The map of Palestine says it's a conceptual map and is a future state for Palestine, complete with Israeli settlements, and Muslims who come in peace will be welcome to visit and pray at the Al-Aqsa Mosque. And there is a tunnel between Gaza and the West Bank. This is the map for Israel. If you didn't know, you'd think that Palestine is being carved out of Israel. These maps are like modding in video games. Modding, which is short for modifications in video games, is when the player modifies the game. So the player changes the cars, the clothes, the flags, and can even change the city that the video is in to be something more specific to the player's world or ideas of the player's world. Firas Shihade is an artist who is from Palestine. He can't go to Palestine but wants to make art about Palestine. So he films himself playing the video game Grand Theft Auto 5 to make art. The city in the game is called Los Santos. It's supposed to be a fictional American city, but there are some gamers that modified Los Santos on a server to make it Magic City, Palestine. In this film, 3 things are happening. An avatar of Firas is wandering around Palestine on part of the screen, and on the other part of the screen is other gamers playing in Magic City, Palestine. The third part is a narrator telling us in a deadpan voice about Palestine's real world, social, economic, and political conditions.
Los Santos police and army became the Israeli police and army. In short, gamifying the colonial context of Palestine.
The realistic graphics of video games starting from the 2000s triggered the ongoing debate about whether there is a link between video games and violence.
And also video games. I'm hearing more and more people say the level of violence on video games is really shaping young people's thoughts.
So video game violence causes real-world violence, and so we should be worried. But real-world violence that is the cause of a world mental health issue is no reason for alarm, and we should be okay with that. Since October 2023, a study was done that showed that there is a correlation between depression and acute stress because of the constant exposure to immediate, vivid, unfiltered, disturbing images from Gaza. Put another way, the brokers of the $55 billion gaming company are the brokers of genocide. These brokers have no ethics. They don't care about violence or starvation. It's just about making deals. They see who's playing games and they see how to push the limits. They play role as peacemakers. Total sellouts. The Artwork is the title of this conceptual artwork by Yazan Khalil. It is a photograph of a legal contract. The legal contract outlines that this artwork refuses to be displayed, owned, or collected by institutions which play a role in the Israeli occupation of Palestine. It's an artwork that resists buyouts and sellouts, whether by direct sales or by proxies and third parties. If you don't share the same ethics, this artwork doesn't want to be owned by you. The buyouts and sellouts, deals that are being made by Jared, Witkoff, the Abraham Accorders, gaming companies, and just deals over Palestine and over the Sudan and Yemen, Lebanon, Syria, over Gaza. Literally, gold diggers are sabotaging our personal security to modify the planet into an inferno for capitalism. That is enshittification.
ثم قال فكرة أخرى اللي هذا البيتون روزيه تاع قناة 14 بقول أبسط هيا نضع بنزين داخل النفق ونحرقهم أحياء يا له من مبدع. بقول الكاتب والداه على الأرجح فخوران بخلفتهما الآن جدا. منظر مبهر عرايه. يصف الصحفي مرة أخرى الصحفي بين قوسين يعني يصف مجزرة حرق 200 شخص عالقين في نفق 70 متر تحت الأرض بأنه منظر مبهر جدا ويقول هذا الكلام على الهواء. تخيلوا عراي الكاتب رائحة لحم البشر المحترق المتصاعد من 200 جثة محروقة من العذاب البشري الرهيب المحصور بداخلها. ثم قال روزيه خلص توقفوا عن التذلل أو صحفي تبع قناة 14 قال توقفوا عن التذلل أمام الأمم. حتى مش عاجبه إنه في بعض الإسرائيليين صار يقولون فضحنا بالعالم. عرايه خلص لا تتذللوا أحرقوهم أحياء. هذا ما يجب فعله. هيا لنحرقهم جميعا سيكون ذلك مبهرا عرايه.